Okay, let's see how far these makeup colors can go. Let's choose a visual reference to go by and try to get some of these fine details using the small brushes that we have. Just a little tiny bit of paint is all it takes. It's almost like dry brushing in art. A little wiggle, some random motion, make it look natural instead of straight lines coming out from the corner of the quote-unquote crow's feet area. Lining the eye here while I'm at it. And I believe I'm using a round brush of a particularly small size. There's a better view of a close-up of what's going on. Again, very random tiny motions can get you a long way. The skin color underneath gives you the resulting contrast and highlight, but I'm going to go back and accent the highlights as well. I'm using a shadow color right now, the brown from the Mehron Mini Pro Kit. And after I'm finished with my shadows and my highlights, I'll powder what I'm doing and set it, and then come back with an aqua color kit or in any other number of brands of water activated makeup. The whole key here is to push the highlights and shadows as far as we can with tiny details, being careful not to muddy up what we've already done before. Here I'm going in with a flat brush and touching up some of the highlights right along the top of the wrinkles where the light would catch the top edge. Using the brush sideways like this, I can get a very fine line. So I don't have to use a round brush all the time. I can use a small flat brush to do the same thing. These are stipple sponges. I choose the size of stipple that I want to use. I'm using the small one, so as opposed to the coarse one. Small textures are applied by dipping into the cream-based makeup just a little bit and then tapping lightly to break up the smoothness of the work that's been done underneath. Careful you don't put too much makeup on this or you'll have to erase blotches of dark. Here's your powder puff and your brush to remove the excess powder. You're going to be loading the powder puff and applying enough to set the makeup. You can pinch the corner of your powder puff together and get into the corners of your eyes. Corners of your nose, outside of the eye. I tried to show you a little bit there that there was no makeup on the powder puff, which means that just the powder is setting the paint, not the puff. Keep your puff clean at all times. I'm going in with some bluish color here using an angle brush. The angle brush gives me a little bit more access and a sharper tip to make little fine blue blood veins underneath the skin. If you make any mistakes, use your foam sponge to erase them or to blend them out. Again, how much paint is on the brush makes a big difference in the result. Working some veins up into the highlighted area on my forehead, keeping the pattern fairly random. Now if you compare the prosthetic that I made earlier, that could be added to an age makeup for pretty effective old age makeup.